Why? It's so pigmented. Looking a little crazy with half my lips done. Hey guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we did something super fun today. We did an entire makeup look, but we did half with expensive clean makeup products and half with more affordable clean makeup products. And I'm jazzed. This was really fun to film. I feel like I did a decent job. I feel like the lips, you can kind of tell a difference. I mean, this is the look we created. I did a pretty decent job finding a match in terms of shades, but also finding formulas that are decent matches for each other, which makes me really excited. So, and I did everything. I shopped my stash. I didn't get anything new, so that it was stuff that I had talked about with you guys so that you can kind of see how the products compare kind of side by side to each other, which was really, really fun. I really enjoyed putting this together. I definitely am going to do another one going forward, but I would love to know, do you want to see holiday? Do you want to see a specific look? Do you want to see a no makeup look? Do you want to see, you let me know down below what ones you want to see next, or I'm just going to pick one if you guys don't have any suggestions, which is totally fine. But yeah, I just want to jump into this video and get started because this was really fun to film and I can't wait for you guys to see it. Let me know what you think down below. But yeah, if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this half expensive, half more affordable clean beauty makeup video. All right, you guys, I am super excited. This is gonna be fun. So I'm doing, this side is going to be the affordable side. This side is going to be the expensive side. And I'm jazzed. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start on this side with my brows, and I'm going in with the Rose Ink Brow Gel. I'm just gonna do a clear brow gel on both sides. Love that. And then on this side, we're also gonna be doing a clear brow gel. We're gonna be doing the Jason Wu Beauty Clear Brow Gel. All right, now let's go on to brow pencil. So on this side, I'm going on with the Westman Atelier brow pencil, and I wear the shade Bark in this. And I'm going to just fill in. This is my bad brow. This one's my bad brow. Actually, you know what? Both of these brows are terrible right now. And I'm just going to fill in quickly. We're not going to do anything too crazy. Move the mirror actually closer to me so I can actually, I don't know, see what I'm doing. All right, let's fill in the brows. So again, this is the Westman Atelier brow pencil in the shade Bark. Okay, and then on this side, I have two brow pencil options, but I think I'm gonna go with one that is similar in vibe. So I'm gonna go with the PYT brow pencil in the shade Chocolate on this side. All right, so the next, let's move on to Complexion. So the Complexion product I'm going to use on my expensive side is this one, the Westman Atelier Complexion Drops. Really, really excited about these. So I'm going to do a couple drops on the back of my hand. Not too many, just because like, it's only half my face, and we're going to apply, and then I'm going to actually blend with my fingers. Okay, so the next, on this side of my face, I'm gonna go on, I have two options. I actually think I'm gonna go on with this one, the Tower 28 Sunny Days tinted sunscreen. And I'm gonna do a mixy-poo of the two of these so I could get a decent match on this side. And I really love this. I wanted to do something that was going to kind of give the same finish as the Westman Atelier, and shockingly, I actually didn't have that many products that I felt would give like a decent finish throughout the day. So we're here now. We're doing this. So I'm gonna mix those two shades together and hoping, fingers crossed, I did a decent enough job with mixing. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. And we're just gonna blend it again with the fingers, and we're gonna do half the face again. All right, I'm happy with how that came out, you guys. Shade match on point. On point. So I mixed the shade 45 Silver Lake. I'm gonna link everything down below with the shade 40 Runyon. I did a little bit more of Silver Lake because it's more neutral. Really good. Good shade match. Okay, so let's do under the eyes. So under the eyes, I'm gonna go on with the Merit Beauty Foundation Concealer Stick, and I'm gonna do a little mixy-poo on this side. I also have the Westman Atelier Foundation Concealer kind of stick. They say that you can use under the eyes, so I might also use a little bit of that depending on how we do under the eyes. I'm gonna apply a little bit of this shade here. This is the shade Buff first under my eyes. And I'm going to blend this out under the eyes with this brush here. I've had this concealer brush in my collection for so long, and I just like, forgot because I was using other things. So that is that. I'm really happy with how that's looking. I think I'm going to do a touch of the shade Sand as well, which is the brightening shade. The shade that I just used is the shade Buff. I don't know if I mentioned that, so I'm going to mention it now. Real good. Do a touch here. Just a little touch of that brightening shade just to jazz it up. Love that. Just so good. So then next I'm going to go on with this here. This is the LYS Beauty Concealer, and this is in the shade MN5, I believe. Let me check. Yes. I'm going to let that sit for a second because it is a thinner consistency. Then we're going to blend her out. Okay, let that sit for a second. So I'm going to blend this out with this brush. All right, I'm really happy with how that's looking. What do you guys think? I want you to let me know what you feel like in terms of my project progress so far in terms of color matching. Okay, next we're gonna set the face because we're looking a little greasy. And I just wanna set with a little bit of powder. So on this side, we're gonna set with the Ilia setting powder. And this is a translucent shade. And I'm gonna just take a brush, dip in. Not too much, and we're just gonna set. So I'm gonna set. Okay, so I'm happy with how that is. I know it might look a little bit matte, but it's gonna dew up throughout the day. Everything we're using is pretty dewy, so I wanna just kind of make sure we're all set up. So next I'm gonna go on with the LYS Beauty, and it's also in the translucent shade. All right, you guys, I just set with a little bit of powder. Did the LYS Beauty powder on this side and the Ilia powder on this side, both translucent shades. Looking good. I feel like it's decently matte, but it's not too matte. So I'm happy with how that's looking. Let's move on to bronzer. So on this side, we're gonna be using the Victoria Beckham Beauty bronzer, and the shade I have in this is the shade 03. And we're just going to bronze up, you guys. So I'm gonna actually take a light, like a, not a super intense bronzing brush, just like a powdery brush. And I'm gonna just dip in, get that powder off, this fluffs up a good amount. And I'm going to bronze right here. And I'm gonna do it lightly and not too crazy. Even though she's pigmented, oh, look at that. She is pigmented, you guys. Whoa. She bronzed up real good. Happy with that. That is so pretty. I love this bronzer. It is gorgine. All right, then I cleaned that off, and we're gonna go on with the LYS Beauty bronzer in the shade Harmony. I tried to find shades that were decent matches, so it took a while to be able to find something. And I'm gonna go on this side. So pretty. And, whoa, oh gosh. Why? It's so pigmented. I always load up my brush when I'm using like a lighter, fluffier brush like this, and then I regret it almost immediately because I'm looking crazy. All right, you guys, I'm really happy with how that's looking. What do you think? She's cute. She's real cute. So next let's move on to blush. So I have two blush options, and I feel like the blush might be where this look kind of falls apart in terms of matching, but we're going to do our best. So I have the Victoria Beckham Beauty blush in the shade Playground, which is this really pretty shade. I wear this shade all the time. Love. And then I also have this Westman Atelier blush in the shade Chouchette, which is so pretty. Gorge. Look how cute. Love it. I think we're going to do the Victoria Beckham in Playground. So I'm going to apply it to my cheeks, and I'm going to take a brush, this slanted one, which I use all the time, and I'm going to just apply it to my cheeks. Oh, I love this blush. Look how pretty that is. Real cute. Okay, love that. That's so pretty. So next on this side, we're going to go with the shade Teddy from Persona Cosmetics, which I've mentioned to you guys is a good, decent dupe for the Victoria Beckham. You'll have to let me know what you think. Whoa, applied way too much to the brush. I cleaned this brush off, by the way. Always gotta clean. Oh, look how good. I mean, you guys, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm crazy. But I feel like they're decent matches. Oh my God, you guys, these are pretty decent matches. Whoa, I'm crushing it. I'm crushing it. I'm very impressed with myself. So the next, let's move on to highlighter. So I'm gonna go on with the Rose Ink highlighter in the shade Prismatic on this side, on the expensive side. I'm just gonna apply a little bit. We're not gonna go too crazy, but we do wanna like glow to the heavens. Because who doesn't want to glow to the heavens? And then I'm going to take the Versa Dewdrops in the shade Golden. Is it Dewdrops? Glow Drops. That's what it is. And I'm going to apply a little bit here. And these are pretty decent matches, which is nice in terms of color. All right, you guys, that's a pretty good match. The Versed drops just have to dry down a little bit and then they're gonna look pretty freaking close. It's gonna be wild. Okay, so the next, let's move on to the eyes. Now for the eyes, I wanted to use some mattes and I wanted to use some more shimmery products. So I did the best I could with finding options. So I have the Persona Cosmetics Identity palette, and this is, I mean, the palette of dreams. So pretty on this side for the mattes. And then I also have the Rowan eyeshadow palette, and this is the Gold Lust palette. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit of the Identity palette in my crease, the shade Charming, this matte color here. So good, I love that. So then I'm going to then take a smaller kind of brush and I'm gonna dip into this dark brown color here. So I'm gonna take this brush here now, a smaller brush, and I'm gonna dip into this dark brown color. Okay, so then next I'm gonna take a little blendy brush and I'm gonna take both those shades again. I'm gonna do the shade Charming first, the lighter shade. I'm gonna pull it on my lower lash line. Love that, so pretty. Happy with how that's looking. I actually didn't do any of the darker color just yet. I kind of want to wait and see. Next, I'm going to go into this Rowan palette, the Gold Lust palette, and I'm going to dip into this color here. So pretty. I love the Rowan palettes. They're just so good. And I like slept on them, and I'm so happy that I have them like in my collection because they're just, I mean, so pretty. You see that? And they're so clean, creamy, and they're so easy to blend with your finger. And that's kind of the point. So then I'm going to take that brush again with the dark, that had the darker shade. I'm not going to add any more to it, but I'm going to kind of take it and kind of blend it into the shimmery colors, you can see. Just kind of get it to blend really, really, really seamlessly. Love that. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that color again on my finger and more towards the front, just like pack it kind of in place. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this lighter color here and towards the front again, the really, really itty bitty front. I'm going to pack it towards the front, but not into like the tear duct fully, but just kind of starting at the tear, like the beginning of the tear duct and back. And just create, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Why is it gorgeous? Okay, so then next I'm going to go on with a slanted brush like this, and I'm going to dip into the dark color again in the Persona Cosmetics palette, and I'm going to create a line. I was going to do an eyeliner, but I kind of felt like an eyeshadow would be prettier for this look, so that's what we're going to do. Gorge. And then I'm going to take this brush again, and just on the lower lash line at the outer edge, I'm going to put a little bit of the darker color, not too much. And then I'm going to take just like a clean brush and just fluff it out a bit. Fluff it out. I'm just going to kind of. Then I'm going to go back into this color here. And I'm going to take this brush again because I just use this to blend. These brushes are so easy to like wipe off and clean. It's really nice. And I'm going to pull towards the front that lighter kind of color. Happy with that eye. I'm not going to do mascara just yet. I'm going to do this eye next. So on this eye, I'm going to do the Jason Wu Beauty palette for the mattes. And then I'm also going to do the Sephora Bounce Clean palette in the shade Monarch. So I have clean brushes. Don't worry, I'm not being crazy. And we're just going to dip into this palette. So I'm dipping into this shade here. And I think it's going to be a decent match, but we'll see. Decent. A little bit warmer maybe, but decent. Decent match. Proud of myself. Real proud. What do you guys think? It's a pretty decent match. It's a little bit warmer, but it's decent. I'm pretty freaking impressed with myself. Okay, so then next, I want to dip into this dark brown color as well. And I'm going to take this brush that I cleaned off. And I'm going to do the same thing that I did on this side, and I'm just going to tap it on. We're just gonna, on this side, I'm gonna, the Jason Wu Beauty eyeshadows are a little bit fluffier, so I'm gonna do a lot less at a time just to avoid anything being too crazy. So we're gonna really build on this side to get the same look. Okay, that's pretty decent. I'm pretty impressed. We have a little bit of fallout on this side because again, the Jason Wu Beauty palettes are a little bit, they have a little bit more kick up, which is good because that makes them really pigmented and all of that, but you just have to be careful. Okay, so then next I'm gonna do the same thing I did on this side to this side. I'm gonna pull the mattes down on this side, so the lighter color, then I'm going to do the darker color. Pretty decent match. Again, a little bit warmer, but nothing crazy. Pretty happy with that match. So then next I'm going to take a different slanted brush. I'm going to take this slanted brush and I'm going to do the same thing I did on this side. I'm going to do on this side. I'm going to dip into this palette here to the brown. And we're going to add some brown. Nothing too crazy though. And then I'm going to blend it out just with this like little brush here. I mean, that's pretty good. Okay, so then next we're gonna go into, I'm gonna hold this palette out for now because I think I'm gonna have to go back in to the dark brown color, but I'm gonna go in with this color here in the palette. This palette, the magnifying mirrors on these palettes is pretty good. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This is a little bit warmer than the Rowan one, but still like, whoa, Nelly. A little bit on the warmer side, as you can see. Then I'm going to take that brush again with this. I'm actually not going to add anything more to it like I did on the other side. And I'm just going to pull forward whatever's left on this brush and just kind of balance it out. Okay, so then next I'm going to dip into this lighter color here, which might be a mistake because I do think this is pretty different than the side on the Rowan side. Actually, is it? Yeah, it's a little bit more peachy, I would say. I'm going to take that light color from that palette and I'm just going to apply it to here in the front. So the next I'm going to take this brush here that I used on my lower lash line with the dark brown and I'm going to dip into this palette again into that dark brown and do like a little bit of liner on the top lid. Not like too much, but I feel like this one's a little bit fluffier, so I'm going to work a little bit slower than I did on the other side. Okay, so that is pretty good. It took a little bit longer on this side to build it up because the Jason Wu isn't not as pigmented as the Persona, and it is a little bit warmer, so you kind of have to build it up a little bit for it to have that like really stark, dark brown color, but it worked. It is decent. It's a good match. I'm going to take this brush here. I cleaned her off, and I'm going to dip into this palette again on this side, and I'm going to take a little bit of that lighter brown color that I used and I'm going to pull it in the front kind of like I did the other side. All right, you guys, I'm happy with how that's looking. So this eye is clearly a little bit brighter towards the front, so I'm gonna add a little bit more of the Rowan palette on this side just to kind of see if I can fix that and make a match a little bit better. I also added just a touch more eyeshadow from the Persona palette on this eye to match the thickness that I did on the other side because they weren't matching in terms of thickness. So I'm gonna again take this shade here. Even though it's a lot, it's not quite as like bright white, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to match the brightness, but we're gonna do the best that we can. Okay, I feel like that's a decent match. You can definitely still tell a difference, but looking pretty good. Okay, so the next we are moving on to mascara, and on this side we're going to be using the Westman Atelier mascara. This is called the Eyes Love You or I Love You mascara. This is one you need to clean the wand off because if not, you are going to be a mess because this mascara definitely runs if you are not kind of cleaning off the wand. And make sure you clean off the tip of it. So then I'm going to go up close to this compact and we're going to apply. We're going to do 2 coats. And she's a really, really pretty mascara. I don't have a mascara like this in my collection in terms of the way that it really makes my lashes look because a lot of volumizing mascaras can be crazy clumpy. This one is not like that. So that's 1 coat, really pretty. I'm going to do another coat. I'm going to dip in and clean off again. Just do the outer half of the lashes on this side. Loving, that looks real pretty. So the next we're going to go onto this side. I'm actually going to use the Tower 28 mascara on this side. And I'm going to clean off a little bit of the product that collects on this mascara. And then I'm going to apply, again, 2 coats. Okay, I'm going to dip in again. Clean off the excess again. Okay, so I did 2 coats on both sides, a little bit of mascara on the lower half of my eyes. Really liking this makeup look so far, you guys. Tell me what you think. Okay, next let's move on to lips. Lips, I feel like it's gonna be a little bit tough to match in terms of like just like a perfect shade match. But I'm going to do Victoria Beckham lip liner in the shade 5 on this side. So we're going to do, I'm going to look crazy. I should actually probably get real close to a mirror for this. I'm looking pretty crazy without my lips done, you guys. Look how crazy I look. Look how crazy my lips look. The next lip liner is going to be a Jason Wu lip liner in the shade Luminous. I tried my best to find a decent shade match, you guys. I just don't. It's not going to be perfect, but it's pretty good. Okay, definitely not a perfect shade match, but a decent shade match. Okay, so then next we're gonna do a glossy lip on top. Loving it. So on this side, on the expensive side, we have the Victoria Beckham Bitten Lip Tint, and I believe the sticker came off the bottom, but I believe it's the shade Amore, but I'm gonna link everything down below with the shades I use, and I'm going to apply this. It feels so weird applying lip stuff to only half your lip. So pretty. Oh, so pretty. A juicy lip is just the vibe. Now, the next lip color I'm going to use is the Tower 28 lip gloss in the shade Almond. I tried my best, but I don't think this is going to be a perfect shade match. It's going to be a little bit warmer, yeah, or a little lighter. Okay, so one's a little bit glossier because one's like kind of settles in more, which is the Victoria Beckham, and the Tower 28 is a little bit glossier. It's also a little bit lighter, but I feel like it's a decent match, you guys. Whoa, I'm pretty gosh darn impressed with myself. I would love to know your thoughts down below. What do you think of this look? What do you think of the vibe? Do you think I did a good job? I did a decent match with the shades. I feel like the lips were a little bit of a miss, but I feel like everything else was pretty good. Let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.